Hello, welcome, merry meet. We are two friends, Ned,
And Emma.
revisiting our love for all things witchy, magical, and paranormal.
This podcast is us feeling our way through exploring all the possibilities, and we'd like to invite you along for the journey.
Hey, witchy wanderers, and welcome to this month's episode of Which Way Next. Today, we're delving deep into the fascinating world of spirit guides. We'll be chatting all about who spirit guides are and the different ideas and beliefs around them, so you can get a feel for what resonates with you. It's not just about who they are, but what they do and how they can support you. We'll be sharing some of our own personal stories about meeting our spirit guides, and of course, we'll give you some practical ways you can connect with your own. But before we delve into that, let's start by talking about what's been happening since our last episode. And Emma, we've had a lot of exciting things happen since last time, haven't we?
We certainly have. We've launched a Patreon page,
Whoop,
and
whoop.
we've had 3 people sign up already. Yay! Amazing. When you sort of set something up like that, and you think, will people like it? Will they want to be there with us? And yeah, we got 3 people. We've got to shout out to Michelle, Anita, and Jet. And thank you so much for joining us. And we hope other people are going to join you as well. So if you'd like to join these lovely ladies on our Patreon, here's what you'll get. You'll get ad-free access to our podcast episodes with Patreon edition audiograms. You'll get blog posts such as behind the scenes. There'll be daily affirmations, monthly tarot and oracle card readings, exclusive access to our Which Way Next meditation library, a member shout out, of course, in our podcast. You'll get early access to new episodes, so that will be 2 days before general release. We have a full moon welcome pack, and that includes digital downloads of an exclusive full moon chart, full moon release and ritual, and full moon release and renew card spread. You'll get a printable ritual prompt or journal page to add to your collection each month. And Which Way Wanderings, a short bonus monthly episode of Which Way Next. So I'm sure you want to hear more from us. And we've got Moments of Magic, a monthly bundle where we create and experience together with a ritual, a recipe, and craft designed to help you just slow down and honor the seasons. And we're just sharing a little bit of magic as a community.
Amazing. And my favourite part of that is definitely the moments of magic. So that monthly bundle, we've made it available across most of the tiers because we want it to be a community experience. And thank you so much to Michelle for sharing her craft from July into our Facebook community group. It really brought a smile to my face to see that somebody had been inspired and was joining in. So yeah.
And we've got other news as well, haven't we?
We do. We have so much news this month.
Oh, so I got a call from one of my friends, and she was like, do you know anyone who needs a puppy, basically? And
who doesn't need a puppy?
who doesn't need a puppy? Well, I didn't know I needed one, but I have one now, and so does Med.
Yeah, so we've taken on siblings, and we have shared this obviously in our community, and we've been doing little blog posts about them in our Patreon also. So there's another bonus to signing up. If you like puppies, join us.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, I did know I needed a puppy. I planned to get one by the end of the year anyway, but this was a welcome surprise. And she's absolutely beautiful. So her name is Sage. And yeah, they were so young when they came to us, weren't they?
Yeah, they were only 6 weeks old. sadly, they had been dumped by someone. They were found in sellotaped up in a box. Both of them were infested with fleas and worms, and they were starving. It's Kiyoshi, which is the name of the little boy that I took on. He's got mange, which is making his skin very sore. So they were in a very sorry state. But oh my God, even just in a week and a half, the change to them. They're such happy, fun little characters, aren't they?
They really are. Considering Sage is so small and didn't have the best start in life, she is so sassy and so full of energy. And yeah, she's brought my family so much joy already. So I'm very grateful to have her as our new addition.
Yeah, and even though I didn't know I needed a puppy, I'm very grateful for having Kiyoshi. He's so sweet. He gets on really well with my greyhound. And yeah, I think that the universe was just aligned, wasn't it? It was like it was meant
100%.
to be.
I can't wait to reintroduce them to each other and have our little magical adventures with them. So yeah,
Yay!
everybody watch this space for the adventures of Sage and Kyoshi.
Definitely.
Also, I'd like to acknowledge that it's now the 8th of August. So on the 1st of August, we celebrated Lunasa. So Lunasa blessings to you, also known as Lamas to some. We did a nice little seasonal bundle for that on our Patreon also. So we added a nice ritual craft and colouring sheet to the Patreon for that, which was really lovely. So yeah, this coming season is all about reaping what you've sown. So all of those little seeds we've put towards our future, we're now going to hopefully see the harvest of in abundance for sure.
I could do with some abundance. Can it be money?
We'd like the money, please. And the joy, the money and the joy.
There's one thing I have got abundance of, and that's crafting. I've been crafting again. I can't help myself. I bought a brilliant book, actually. I might as well share it with everyone. And it's called Fibre Magic, and it's by Opal Luna. And it's a witch's guide to spell casting with crochet knotwork and weaving. And
Amazing.
it's so cool. It's a massive book. There are, let me just have a look. I mean, there's over 300 pages in this book,
Awesome.
and it's basically step by step doing all these different sorts of crafts, but making sure that you're adding intention to them when you're doing them. So it might be that you speak a spell before you do them, or it's just the thoughts of, what you're, whilst you're making it, that it's quite, that it's almost like you're weaving things in your life. And it's just fantastic. I can't say how much I'm loving it. I've made two things out of it already, and there's lots of crochet projects in here. And I will say, I'm not really a crocheter. I do crochet, but I have now. I started off by making a little pouch that you can just keep, like, could be crystals or maybe ingredients for spells and things like that. Again, it was a thing that you're sort of making with intention. What did it? Let me just see if I can find the page. Got it. So anyway, the first thing I made was it's called an elemental mojo bag, and it's it's only about 1.5 inches in diameter. And what I love is that each of the stitches that you do doing it actually represents the four elements. So it kind of guides you through those. So as you're actually making it, you're actually weaving into it the four elements. It's
That's
just
awesome. I
brilliant.
love that.
Yeah, I absolutely love it. And I made a witch's hat as well.
Yes, I love
Crocheted
your
a
hat. I
witch's.
want one.
It's really cool. It's quite difficult to make, took a while. And it's finished, and I all I need to do now really is decorate it. So Med, what have you been up to?
I've been up to a lot. It feels like a year's passed since our last episode. So I took my son on his first abroad holiday since he was a baby. So it would be the first one he can remember. We went to Spain and we had a fantastic time. And the highlight was definitely a Jeep safari that we were lucky enough to have private to ourselves and go to the mountains, get thrown about a bit, and then visited the most beautiful waterfall. And yeah, we just had such an amazing trip. So I'm very grateful for that. And I released my own solo podcast that's slightly different to this one. It's a personal journey that reflects on kind of the light and shadow of my life. So I've mentioned in this podcast before that I came from a childhood that was very traumatic. There was a lot of abuse, and I'd like to say, despite all that, I've turned out quite a nice, well-balanced person. So
Yeah,
my
most of the time.
so my podcast is exploring that journey and reflecting on it and sharing the tools gathered both through personal experience and professional tools through training that I've had. And I've had a really positive response from it. So I'm very grateful for that too.
Yeah,
I
it's
should probably
brilliant.
say what it's called.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea. Definitely tell everyone what it's called.
it's I'm really good at this promotional stuff. So it's called Moon Mum Musings, and I think it's a weekly episode. It's only 20 minutes long. It's just short little conversations. And so we're on episode 3 currently. It came out yesterday, episode 3. So it comes out every Thursday. I thought that was quite fitting because I'm a Thursday's child.
So we went out together as well, didn't we? We
Oh,
went
yes, we
and
did.
did a brush party again, which we love going to those. I definitely love going to them.
Yes, I love
And
it too.
yeah, we painted a gorgeous picture of I think it was called Midsummer Flowers. Was it
I can't remember
Midnight
the
Flowers?
name, but that sounds
Something like
fitting.
that. Yeah, so basically it's a scene where you've got the moon and the night sky with lots of beautiful flowers in it.
Yeah, that
And
was a lovely day.
it was
We
really
went for
good.
a nice little walk with Emma's dog and puppy. And yeah, we shared that day on the Patreon also. So Emma's little collection of things that she
Oh
picked up along
yeah,
the way. And
yeah.
obviously our paintings from the brush party.
Yeah, Med makes me turn out my pockets whenever we go on a walk, and then she makes fun of me. So if you want to see what I picked up on our walk, you'll have to go onto Patreon and have a look.
This has to be the longest update we've done. We've actually had a life this past month. What's going on?
Is it just that we're remembering the things?
Yeah.
I don't know. It has, personally, I feel like it's been a really good, positive month, and I've enjoyed it, and I'm hoping there will be more of it as well. I'm feeling really, really positive about the future at the moment. So
Yes, me too. I think that well, it's all that Lunasa energy, isn't it? We're reaping
yeah,
what we've sown. Because we've worked hard on everything we want for our future. So it's only right that we now have it returned to us in abundance.
yeah. I feel really proud of actually of what we've done, and I think that sometimes you know we can play it down and everything, but I think we should celebrate the achievement that we've made with releasing our podcasts, getting the Patreon out there as well. It's just been it's been really good, and
Yeah, I agree. We're pretty awesome.
yeah.
And so are our listeners. Thank you for being here and to listening to us ramble because I was getting bored of just listening to Emma on my own. I'm joking. Just say something serious. I had to ruin it.
Did warn everyone that we joke like this, or do we mean it?
No, I do love Emma, and I'm sure that our listeners love you as much as I do.
So, shall we get on with our show and start talking about spirit guides? And
That's probably a good idea because that's what the
yeah,
episode's meant to be about.
yeah, we've been rambling on for ages now. Personally, I so spirit guides is a new thing for me. I was only sort of introduced to it last year. I haven't met any of mine yet, and but I do know that Medrian has. So yeah, Med, do you want to enlighten people? Maybe just tell them a little bit about what spirit guides are, what they do, and how they've come into your life.
Okay, so I'd like to share some of my story about meeting my spirit guides a bit later in the episode. But to start with, let's talk about spirit guides and who they are. So, obviously, I don't have any definitive answers on this. I only have my own research and things I've seen to be true. Um, there are lots of opinions on who spirit guides are. So, spirit guides can be somebody you've known from a previous life, for example, a family member. They could be somebody, an ancestor from this life. Some people believe that a spirit guide has to be somebody who you've made a contract with to be your spirit guide before you've come to Earth. So going by that, that would mean that your spirit guide can't be somebody you already knew on this earth. For example, if your grandmother died and you knew her in this life, she cannot become your guide. She can only become a helper because it was not written before you came in this life. Your spirit guide is someone who's chosen not to come to earth with you, but to be there in the background to guide you. That's just some people's belief, and that's what I've been taught when I've gone to workshops. So it couldn't be your grandmother, for instance, if she was on this world when you were here. But if your grandmother died before you were born, she could well be your spirit guide if that was somebody that you connected with before you came here and decided it would be, if that makes sense. A spirit guide can be in many forms, so it doesn't need to be somebody who was related to you. It could be a goddess, a deity. It doesn't have to be a person. It could be an animal, an animal spirit guide. There are so many interpretations of what spirit guides are, who they are. Some people believe there's different types. So you could have what people see as spirit guides, but then you could also have angels who guide you, and they're not necessarily spirit guides. But then some people believe it's one in the same. So there are so many takes on this depending on where you look and who you're talking to.
Yeah, I've read that some people they actually believe it's just all part of themselves. So it's part of their own consciousness manifesting itself as an image in which they can relate to, so that guides them.
Yeah, I've read that too. I really like that idea as well. It's like it's meant to be your higher self, so the part of you that knew before you came back to this plane. the higher parts of you that know what's authentic and what's real, and they're kind of segmented in your brain for you to receive them in a way that works for you, for you basically to tell yourself what you need to know,
Yeah.
or remember what you need to know.
So I'm guessing that it really doesn't matter what your beliefs are, you know, that you can still have spirit guides. So whether you believe that they are actually a thing that's helping you, or whether you believe it's part of your own self, either way, neither are wrong, let's say. So what are spirit guides there for? What do they do for us?
So spirit guides are believed to be there to be our higher consciousness, or to be somebody who is contracted to us in whatever plane we believe is further than what we can see, in order to help us reach our goals and to become the most high, evolved, awakened version of ourselves. Or maybe other beliefs are we have a specific goal that we needed to achieve in this life, if you believe in reincarnation. Some people believe you come into the world, you've got one task for this world, one lesson you need to learn, and then you might be reincarnated and learn another lesson, and they would be the guide that would help you do that. So if you're where people say they feel like they weren't on the right path, and then something interrupted them and put them on the right path, a lot of people would say that's their spirit guide.
Yeah. With spirit guides, would you just have one spirit guide that covers everything, or would you have multiple spirit guides that help you in different areas of your life? And can they be different types? So let's say you could have a goddess and an animal guide.
100%. So I think most people who believe in spirit guides believe that there are multiple spirit guides for each person. So it can be a whole team of people that are working behind you and supporting you with certain things. So for example, where I spoke about the angel guides, or some people call them guardians of light, but they can sometimes be thought of as guides, or they can just be thought of as angels. But either way, they're usually people connect to them with grief and things like that, where you need support in that way. That's when they would come into your life. I believe you can have different spirit guides of different entities. They're not all from the same place. I have, I'll say seen, because one of them I haven't met. I have seen 3 of my spirit guides, I believe, possibly 4, because I'm not sure if the 4th is a spirit guide or just somebody who visited me as a one-off. And they are of all different connections. So one of them I believe to be my brother in a previous life. Another I believe to be a goddess, although she was shown to me in animal form at first. And then the third, I'm not 100% on who she is, but I do believe her to be an ancestor of some kind, if not in this life, then another. But I've not been introduced to her. I've only seen her and observed her, and she's observed me from afar.
So with your spirit guides, where did you meet them? What happened for them? Were they things that you, so like sometimes in life you see signs, you see little clues, and it might be that, I don't know, you're somewhere and a deer crosses your path or something like that. Were they ones that you met in life, or was it during like meditation or during your sleep, your dreams?
So I definitely believe that they have been with me. Well, spirit guides are with you from before you're born. So they've been with me for a long time. And now that I have met them on purpose, I can definitely identify times in my life where each of them has played a part and where I felt that kind of guidance and that intuition, but I've not necessarily been, I couldn't put a face to what I was feeling or seeing because I hadn't delved into it. But I can see where they've helped me, where they've had their specific places in my life and helped me. And but the way I met mine was while on a retreat, and also since then I've been to trance classes. So these were trance meditations that were specifically set up for us to meet our spirit guides. And if you've never tried trance, I can't recommend it enough. It's like meditating, but going down another 10 levels. And if you're doing it with a specific focus, like meeting your spirit guides, it's just such a great tool for getting there and for getting the answers you wanted. So when I first met my spirit guide, it was my brother, the brother from the previous life, and I feel a great connection to him. And I've met him a couple of times now in these trances, and he has been the one to introduce me to my next spirit guide as well. So I would say if you believe you have a main guide, this would be mine. And when I first met him, I had a conversation with him where it felt like we'd come home to each other. It was really strange because obviously I've not been aware of him before, but he embraced me and was so happy to know that I was now aware of him again. And it was like a reunion, and it felt like coming home to family, which was a big thing for me because I don't have any family in the real world anymore. Obviously, apart from the nice, lovely family I've created, but I don't have like that previous bloodline of like brothers and sisters or mums or uncles or dads. I don't have any of that. So that was a big thing for me. And so during these series of trance meditations, he showed me some of our previous life. I actually saw how I died in that life, which was a little bit traumatic. The only way I can describe this previous life that he showed me is that it was very tribal. And he showed me that we were very connected to the water. So we lived on an island, but the water was very important to us. And
That kind of fits with you. You're a Pisces.
yeah, and it does make sense. So as I learned more about my previous lives, I can see how they influence me in my current life. So the water is still a very calming place for me. I still feel water is very sacred, and I am a water sign. And then the same goes for when he introduced me. So I had another trance class where it was specifically about meeting a new guide. So this was more intermediate. I'd already been here to this class and met that current guide and explored some questions with them. And then we went down to meet our current guide again, have a chat with them, ask more questions. And then the last question to ask them was, is there anybody else waiting to meet me? Can you introduce us? And this was the most surreal experience I've ever had. It was like, so I was taken into these woods, and I should start with. So in my previous times where I'd gone down to meet this guide, we'd been doing meditation mapping. So there was a specific place where I went to meet my guide. And while walking to this place, I kept seeing a deer, the most magnificent deer I'd ever seen in my life. Very golden, really intricate antlers. Didn't look quite Earth-like, but represented a deer. And it kept looking at me from afar or walking kind of adjacent to me in the field as I was walking towards where I meet my current guide. And then when I then asked him to introduce me to anyone who was waiting to meet me, this deer appeared in the clearing. And then it became this great light just came out of it. It was already kind of glowing anyway, but it became a big golden light, and it transformed into a goddess. And it was the most overwhelming feeling I'd had, because the person talking us through the trance actually told them to come into us. So it wasn't just the person in front of me. They then came into me and entwined with me as one and let me feel their energy. And it was actually a little bit painful, which we were already warned can happen. And you're just told if that happens, to ask them to take that away, which they did, and it eased off, but it was still an uncomfortable feeling. And it was just absolutely amazing. And I can't remember every detail about what we talked about, although I have got it written somewhere. I should have, because you always sit there with a pen and paper to write things down, because you will forget them afterwards. She told me that I am a light worker, that I have a lot to do, that I already know her. She knows me well, and I need to rise up and do my work, was
Wow.
basically the general gist of it. And I was too embarrassed to actually tell anybody in the trance workshop this part of my experience. I wrote it down privately because I felt a bit like, have I made this up? Because this is
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah.
And then when I came home and I did the research on it and researched what she was saying, I was like, oh, actually, this does make sense. It's not like just some crazy wording that I've made up. It's an actual thing.
Well, I remember you saying that you didn't know who she was either, and you looked that up as well, didn't you?
Yes. So
So,
I was searching and trawling the internet. There's a lot of deities and goddesses that can be represented by like a golden deer, but they didn't all quite fit what I saw or how I felt. But I have found who I believe it to be, and her name is Ellen of the Ways.
oh yes.
And I now have a beautiful, I've got to shout it out actually. Let me see if it's got the info on the back of it. 1 minute.
Well, I've got my goddess oracle deck sat here. So whilst you're looking for that, I found Ellen of the Ways.
Oh, have you? I didn't
On
realize she
the
was in there.
Yeah, so she's the Celtic goddess of pathways, guidance, shamanism, magic, and nature. And it says here, at the dawn of time, Ellen of the Ways sprang forth, ready to greet the sun and embrace her destiny. Her limbs are strong and sun-kissed, her hair is red and tousled, braided with vines and leaves, and her eyes are the brightest green to match the new shoots and shrubs that come to life around her. Most striking of all are the antlers that twist from her brow like a crown of bone. She walks the dream world just as she wanders the real world. And though you may never be sure if you've really seen her, she'll be there to help you find the right path and discover your life's purpose. So that fits
And that's
totally.
exactly, wow, I've never heard that before. That was really
Haven't you?
powerful. No, that's exactly how she appeared to me and what she did. That's absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I've fallen in love with this goddess and oracle deck, and I'll talk about my thing with that in a bit.
So I was researching Ellen of the Ways once I was pretty sure she was who I'd met and who is one of my, now I know, one of my spirit guides. And so much of what resonated with her um, is part of my being. So it explains me being drawn to the woodland, why it's always been my place. It explains why bees have always been attracted to me. I don't think I've shared this story, but there was an incident I had with somebody actually trying to perform a ritual with me that turned out it was against me. And a swarm of bees came through her window and attacked her.
Oh my goodness.
This is before I'd really explored my witchcraft side. I just got drawn into this whole, she said she was doing this cleansing of her house, but it turns out she was trying to curse me or something. So um and she actually said to me, I was just in shock, but she addressed the facts that I'd made the bees come there and she wouldn't, in her words, fuck with me again.
Good.
um but that also explains my connection to them. And yeah, she, everything that I read about her resonated with me. So I've got this beautiful art piece of her that now sits on my altar to honor her, and it's by an artist. Now I apologize, I don't know how to say their name. It's either Gnome Art or Nomi Art, but it's Nome space art, and their website is nomeart .com, and they have some beautiful pictures of many goddesses and spiritual things and gods and all sorts of things. But I saw this painting and it just really spoke to me, and I was like, that is what I'm going to have on my altar to honor my spirit guide slash goddess. So yeah.
So lovely. So with your spirit guides, do you when you want to ask for their help, do you have to go, because I've been reading about hedge riding, okay, and the explanation of that is when they visit their spirit guides in different realms, so they'll actually go on a journey, whether that's after, you know, when they've been doing trance work, or it could be during their dreams, and so they visit their guides there, and they have, you know, there might be clues there for how they deal with things in their life, or they may be told that kind of thing. But are there other ways other than doing it like that? Do you like on your altar? You say you've got a picture of her. When you're doing your spell work, do you ask her for her help in that spell, or?
So you can definitely do that. I would say my spell work, I don't particularly call on anyone specifically when I'm doing my spell work. I have worked as a group with Hecate before, um, but when I'm doing my own spell work, I generally just pull on all my power and the power of my altar, but then my altar does um, pay homage to goddesses and to Mother Nature and all that kind of thing. So you could then say, I am drawing on that power.
Yeah, I can
I
imagine.
do in general when I'm doing on oracle card reading, for example, I will call on my spirit guides to help guide the right card to me. But that is a general. I don't say Ellen of the Ways. I say my spirit guides. So that could be whichever guide feels they need to come forward to help guide that moment.
Because I was thinking about it with spirit guides, and I was like, you know, what if we annoy them by asking them for their help constantly? Like, oh, I don't know how what I you know, I don't know what to do, and we're constantly bugging them so they get annoyed.
Here she goes again. Can't think for herself.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. It depends what you believe. Like they've they supposedly have chose to do this with their time. But then you don't know. For example, with a goddess like Ellen of the Ways, that's not her only job, I'm sure, is to guide me.
Oh, for
And
God's
she's
sake, it's that
probably a
meddling
spirit
again.
guide to many.
Yeah.
Um,
But I
but
guess if you've got quite a few spirit guides, it's not so bad. You can just be choose different one each time, so none of them feel like left out or get annoyed with you too much.
And I think it's important that you know that you're putting in the work. And when you're working with goddesses and deities and stuff, you are also honoring them and making offerings to them and not just calling on them and asking them to be at your whim.
Yeah.
So let's talk about ways in which we can meet our spirit guides. So obviously, I've talked about how I've met mine through trance meditation. Now, that has been my main way of physically meeting them face to face and having a conversation with them. But I do feel like I've definitely met them in dreams by not trying to, just they've approached me for a reason. And I've definitely felt them in life situations where I've needed guidance. But ways to kind of meet them on purpose, there are many, it's not just trance. So you could meet your spirit guides through scrying, which is another technique I've tried before, although the focus wasn't so much on just meeting spirit guides when I did this.
Yeah,
But
that was one I did with you on our retreat, and
yes,
it was very weird because we were also walking behind other people that were scrying and seeing what they were seeing in the black mirrors. We were using black mirrors, and it was very strange experience. I mean, with
yeah.
mine, I don't know. Because we didn't intentionally go there for spirit guides. I don't know who it was I was seeing, but I saw a young, I mean, maybe a boy, or it could have been a younger version of myself. But it was definitely a child with short hair, and it was really weird, really weird.
To me,
But
when I looked in your mirror, it was definitely a young girl with short hair, and she resembled you, but she was not you. That's my interpretation of what I saw.
yeah,
So I would
yeah,
say she was an ancestor of yours. But
maybe,
it was
maybe,
amazing that
maybe it
you
is a
saw the same
spirit
thing in
guide.
the mirror because I believe in everything and stuff, and I'm very open-minded. But when you actually see something, you're like, am I just imagining it? And then when you know
Yeah,
other people all seeing the same thing as you, it's like, oh wow, this actually is a thing. I'm not crazy.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I did, I mean, I had my doubts about it. I felt like some people might be planting that information in our heads before, so you were kind of primed to see certain things, but I know what I saw and I wasn't primed to that.
Yeah.
So it was a very, very interesting experience, and I would like to try that again and actually see maybe that was a spirit guide. They didn't move, they didn't speak or anything. They just sat there looking, and it would be interesting to, uh, you know, find out what actually was going on there.
Yeah,
So
I'd definitely be open to trying scrying again. And you can get to the point where you're having full conversations with these people in the mirror. But obviously, I was the same as you. I could just see these people, um, and I was getting kind of feelings from them, but not having an actual conversation.
yeah, in some shamanic practices, they will use certain plants to enhance their experience, won't they, and help them towards their um, meeting their guides and things. But they also use things like drumming, don't they?
Yeah,
So you could have and also fasting. What else do they do? Even dancing. People can get to a state where they can actually
yeah.
enter that realm where they're going to meet their guide.
So their take is it's all about reaching that enlightened state in order to go to meet your a spirit guide who is enlightened, some people believe that just by being silence in your mind and being quiet, um, for example, in meditation, that is a way that you can meet your spirit guide. So obviously I've talked about trance, but if you are good at meditation and able to quiet your mind enough and open enough, you can meet your spirit guide without having to go down to that trance level. Another way to try and connect with your spirit guides is to submerge yourself in nature. So I think the common thing with most of these ways is basically getting back to your most authentic self and enlightening yourself as much as possible. Quieting your mind is the way forward for meeting your spirit guide. That's my take on it anyway, because these are all things I would do to ground myself.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I think it's not simple because I mean I've been, I say trying, I want to see if I can meet my spirit guides, and it's not been easy. Now, I remember I can't re I should write things down. I'm terrible. I really should write things down when they happen, but there was a point where I asked, will I be meeting my spirit guide? And the answer was not yet. You're not ready.
Yeah, I remember that
So
also.
yeah, I can't remember how that came about. Whether was I doing it might have been pendulum or a read runes maybe, I can't remember now, but anyway, I remember that coming about, and it's quite frustrating because you're like, well, why can't I, all these other people have met this. But I actually bought, I got the book, I think I might have mentioned it before, Hedge Riding by Harmonia Sale, and that's got it really makes sense. If anyone wants to read it, it's I think I probably got it on Amazon or something. Um, but everything in there follows what we've been talking about, and it really makes a lot of sense. But also about, you need to be working on yourself, and your own mental health needs to be in a good place for you to be getting deep enough to meet these people, because it's quite a strong experience, and if you're not in the right place mentally, it could mess you up a bit, I guess. A lot of it came down to doing shadow work, so how important it is that that is in place, before you do anything.
100%. And that's what I've been working on for the last couple of years, both spiritually and medically. I've had
Yeah,
therapy, I've been exploring my spiritual side, doing all that shadow work. And I think that's probably why I've got to the point where I was able to then access my spirit guides through the trance. Because I've tried things before and nothing's come to me. But
yeah,
yeah, I think it's so important. For example, that experience that I had with the goddess coming into me, that was so overwhelming. And that was from me coming to a place where I'd gone there on purpose and I knew what I was in for. I've been told it could feel like that if they were a powerful guide. And it was still overwhelming. And that was with somebody who was very professional and knew how to take me down into the trance and take me out of the trance. So if I'd been just doing a meditation at home and that goddess has suddenly invoked me, I think I would have been very overwhelmed. So I think it's important to not to just try and take on everything yourself and rush into work. You've got to do your foundation work first. You can't just suddenly be like, right, that's it. I've decided I'm going to meet my guides today. And your guides will come to you when they are ready as well. And when they know you are ready is the most important part.
yeah. I mean, I know certainly, over the last maybe 9 months, I'm in such a different place. I feel so much more at one with myself, who I am, and you know, um, like my mental health is good. things are good. So I'm hoping that maybe this will happen soon.
I think it will. You're definitely on the right path. The last thing I'd like to mention about spirit guides is synchronicity. So some people believe that there's no such thing as coincidence. Some people believe in angel numbers, for example. So that can also be interpreted as your spirit guides reaching out to you and giving you a message, or reminding you of what path you're meant to be on and what you should be paying attention to.
Well, that's quite interesting because I've something's been happening recently with me, and it's seeing three dots in an equilateral triangle, and I keep seeing it everywhere. It's a strange one. And first, right, oh no, it's going to sound a bit weird, but three dots on my skin. So I do have a skin condition. It's an autoimmune disease, and that's what the dots were made out of. But I cannot tell you how perfectly spaced they were as an equilateral triangle. And I keep seeing that everywhere. Things that wouldn't normally be set out like that are in that shape. So I'd be interested if that's some sort of sign.
Yeah, that's really interesting. For me, that would always come down to like the past, the present, and the future. So I would say that it is like a interpretation of where you are at right now and that you're on the right path.
Now, I did actually post it on a Facebook page. I'm just going to have a look. Right, let me see if I can find what they said, if it's still there. Search. Oh, there. Yeah, so I did post about it on a Facebook group which is called Witchcraft for Beginners, which is a great Facebook page if anyone wants to take a look at it. And someone did come onto there and they said that what you're seeing is an ancient and multi-layered symbol in spiritual, occult, and mystical traditions. Three dots in a triangle often represent mind, body, spirit. You may be being asked to reconnect and align these three aspects of your being. Could be a signal healing is coming, not just for your body, but your emotional and spiritual body too. Number two, it says the sacred Trinity. This symbol mirrors the Holy Trinity in Christianity, Father, Son, Holy Spirit, but also appears in other forms: Maiden, Mother, Crone, Divine Feminine, or Creator, Sustainer, Destroyer, Hindu, is that Trimurti? I apologise if I pronounced that incorrectly. Past, present, and future. And it represents a completion, balance, and sacred cycles. So that's what they said about it. But is
Yeah.
that being put there by one of my spirit guides?
Yeah, that's really interesting. Definitely all of those interpretations can be correct. Um, I guess if you feel like it is your spirit guide reaching out to you, that's your chance to then ask them for a confirmation. So whichever way you choose to do that, whether it's to meditate on it, to use the cards as a tool, but
Mhm.
be specific that you're asking about that pattern.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And I had another thing was when I got the goddess deck that we've been talking about. And for some reason, every time I pulled a card from it, it was the spider grandmother, which was really interesting. And I, yeah, I did a bit of research into um, her, and it's about weaving connections um, and yeah, I did wonder if
Interesting that
maybe
you've been doing all the crochet.
Well, yeah, exactly. Funny that, isn't it? Um, but I found it absolutely fascinating. Now, I used to have arachnophobia, and I worked a lot on that over the years because I really didn't want to be, you don't want to be in fear all the time, do you? So, and I've worked on that. And so it would be really weird if one of my spirit guides was the spider grandmother.
Although
I
that
think,
can make sense in terms of if you were needing to do your shadow work and you feared certain parts of yourself or
yeah,
accessing certain parts of yourself, you weren't ready to face those realities yet. And that would make sense as to why through your journey you've conquered that fear, because you will obviously, not everybody conquers their fear of spiders. I know I certainly haven't. But you were drawn to do that for a reason. So maybe that was part of your shadow work. Maybe that came at a time where you were starting to acknowledge that part of yourself and accept it more. So we've talked about spirit guides, who they are, what they do, how we can access them. We'd love to hear your stories if you have experience with your spirit guides, or if you're just starting your journey. Let us know if anything we've said has inspired you. So there are many ways to contact us, as you know, and we'd love to share the journey with you.
so is it my favourite time in the episode?
Depends what your favourite time in the episode is.
Have we got a magical this or that?
We definitely do. And in the spirit of our topic, pun intended,
Oh my goodness. It would get worse.
number one is animal spirit guide or ancestral spirit guide.
Animal or ancestral? Um, Ancestral, purely because I think there's a deep connection when it's someone that is in your ancestral line.
Yeah, I agree. I would have the same answer for the same reason, and because I believe I've met one of mine.
Yeah,
Although technically, Ellen of the Ways did first appear to me in deer form, so that's also an animal spirit guide, I guess.
yeah.
Okay, the next one. Meeting your guide in a dream or during meditation.
I feel like I would be more likely to meet them in a dream purely because I have met people that have passed in my dreams and they've spoken to me, and I've known that they're past and that it's a dream. So I think, yeah, meeting them in my dreams. And I have actually been trying to do that recently. So we're going to watch this space.
I feel like I would have said the same had I not gone to the trance meditation and met mine there. But now that I've experienced trance and experienced meeting them, I feel like I have more, what's the word? More control. That's the word. I feel like I have more control when I'm in trance and I'm going in there with the intention, and I'm more able to fully remember it when I come out.
Yeah, I guess that's one of the downfalls of it happening in a dream
Well, it
is you don't
depends on whether
always
you're
remember
lucid
them.
dreaming. I suppose once we really work on our lucid dreaming and we're able to do that and remember it well, then it would be easier to then meet our guides there, because that's basically the same as trance, isn't it?
It is. I mean, I did have a dream where I was aware of a person in that dream, and they kept trying to they wanted to show me something, take me somewhere, and I was trying to get to them, but things were getting in the way. People were like grabbing me and talking to me and stuff like that. So, and then I woke up, so I didn't get a chance to properly see what they wanted to take me to. But I feel like there would have been a message there.
I wonder, was that your guide?
Yeah. exactly.
Because your guide's always ready to meet you. They're there waiting. So maybe they were like trying to say, look, we're here waiting for you. And you were like trying to get there, but not quite ready yet, which is
Yeah, probably.
what
Yeah,
you've already been told when you've asked, isn't it?
yeah, definitely. Okay, what's next?
Feel like we may have had a similar question before, but let's do it anyway. Crystal magic or herbal magic?
Hmm. Find that really okay. I'm going to say herbal magic purely because of my use of essential oils, and I know that they work for me. So, I've actually experienced them helping me. So, you know, yeah, herbal. Although I love my crystals.
Yeah.
Oh, why do I have to choose between those two? I don't like that question.
I don't like it either. I was about to say this is one of those times where I'm like, do I have to choose? I love crystals, I love herbs. If I had to be forced to choose one, as well would choose herbal magic just because I feel like when I'm doing my spell work, I use the herbs as a foundation and I
Hmm.
add the crystals as that little extra enhancement and boost. But you can't do anything without a foundation.
Yeah.
However, I feel like wearing my crystal necklace most days is a form of magic, and um,
Not
particularly
choosing, are we?
particularly protecting myself. So how that's if we're talking spell work, it's herbs.
Yeah, okay. Although, to be honest, I mean, I don't. Oh, now I'm gonna have to change it because when I say herbs and stuff, I've only ever used them as medicine, not as magic. Or I've started to use them in spell work. Um, but yeah, they've always been medicine. Whereas my crystals feel like magic. I don't know.
It's hard. It depends what type of magic you're talking about.
Yeah,
Our
it really
last
is.
episode was about everyday magic. So everyday magic, I'm using herbs in my teas, I'm using crystals in my jewellery. How do you choose?
Yeah, see, I'm drinking, well, it's a spice really, turmeric in my tea, but it's a medicine. It helps
I
me.
love my new tea. It's a passion fruit. Oh, I can't remember. Passion fruit and orange, maybe. I don't know what it's got in there, but there's definitely, I don't know if you can see on here, but there's definitely some flowers in there and there's some purple ones and stuff.
Ooh,
So
nice.
pretty, the tea bag.
Okay, have
Okay,
we got another one?
moving onwards. Feel like we took a little side tour there. Side quest. Okay.
I love a side quest.
Signs through nature or signs through numbers?
Um, hmm, I don't know. I mean, I've weirdly, I guess numbers they've often been signs to me, and I don't know. I haven't had anything in nature that's given me signs that I know of. Or maybe I'm not looking. Maybe I'm not noticing.
It's not like you not to notice nature. You're always picking it up and putting it in your pockets.
Well, all the hagstones I find
That's
are
definitely a sign.
yeah. Oh, dear.
I'm definitely going with nature. I'm most in tune with my authentic self when I'm in nature. And I'm always feeling like I see a dragonfly at the right time, or a crow visits me, or when I've been thinking about somebody who's passed away who was close to me, a robin will come to my back door. A feather landed in my living room the morning that we
Oh,
found out about the puppies.
so yeah,
Um,
I remember that.
My husband's not usually one for spiritual meanings, but it landed right in front of him and he said, "Oh, I feel like that was a sign from my mum that something she's gifting us something's coming our way from her." And then a couple of hours later, you contacted me saying, "Do you want a puppy?" And I went to my husband and I was like, "Oh, what should we do?" Because we didn't quite plan to have the puppy yet. And also, I did kind of have my heart set on a Labradoodle. And he said, "Well, the feather did fall." And I was like, that's correct. The feather did fall. So it was meant to be.
It
So
certainly was.
yeah, always getting signs through nature. Um, oh gosh, can you see that?
What?
My candle just started going crazy.
Oh no,
I forgot I even had it lit. But it, just as I said, always seeing signs through nature, it started going all over the place.
Ooh. Hi, Christine.
Yeah. Hi, Christine. Christine, are you there? Yeah, can you see it? It's reacting. Can you see?
Yes. Yeah, it's really
There's black
flickering.
smoke coming off it now. Wow. The irony of Christine contacted me through Flame after telling me all of my spiritual stuff was a load of tat.
Oh, dude, it was so weird. I was just watching it and the colour changed.
Oh, I didn't look. I'll have
It
to look back on the
shrank.
recording.
It went like this and it was really orange around it. Is this recording video as well?
Yes, I'll have to have a look
Yes.
back at it. Amazing.
It was so I cannot tell you. That was so we'll have to put
Spiritual
this on
stuff
our
is a load of
Patreon now.
nonsense now. You are one, huh? You got to believe in yourself. If you don't feel.
We've got to put this on Patreon
That was
as a
amazing.
little extra.
Yes, definitely. Oh, what can I ask her? Christine, can you still send us money? Sorry,
It's the orange thing.
I didn't
What?
see it. She was
Because
always the one to
when
help
you
us when
turned
we needed
towards
extra
me,
money, and she's not here anymore, so we have to like manifest it ourselves, which is really not fun.
that is so weird how the glow is changing.
Christine, did
Christy,
you have a message you wanted to give us? Christine, are you there? She hated me calling her Christine, and I keep saying Christine. Chris, are you there?
oh,
No,
we
I
apologise.
think she's gone. Well, she didn't tell me for years, so what was she expecting? You introduced yourself as Christine, thinking I wouldn't be here long, and then a decade later, I actually hate the name Christine. Can you call me Chris? It's like you're known as Nanny Christine to your grandchild.
Like with Dan, he doesn't actually like being called Dan,
Does he
but
not?
just always called him it. He prefers Daniel. That was really flickering then
Yeah,
again.
it was. Well, Chris, I hope you're well and you're enjoying the podcast.
Yeah, thank you for being a guest on it.
Yeah, we weren't expecting a guest today.
No.
And you'd
Oh,
never
that is
have come
so
on here
funny.
in real life.
Oh, it just did it again. It just changed. I hope it shows
I
on the
keep missing it.
video.
It's when I look away.
Yeah, I really hope it shows on the video.
First time it was flickering so much, I weren't even looking in that direction. I was just like, what is that? Because it was all
Yeah.
flickering in the corner. That was funny. Well, that was unexpected.
Anyway, where were we?
Where were we? That's a good question. Oh yes. Oh, my eyes have gone funny where I've been looking at the flame. Manifesting with a vision board or manifesting with candle magic?
Vision board. I love,
100% agree.
yeah, I love the one that I made with the bits you gave me. That is now on, it's on my altar actually now. So, because it had ended up hidden behind my doll's house that I'm doing up. And I was like, this is silly. I need to see that stuff. I need to be looking at it every day. And yeah, so it's now on my altar. And
Lovely.
for me, having that visual representation of everything and having the affirmations on there and all that kind of stuff means a lot more to me than like candle work.
Yeah, I completely agree. And everything I put on my original vision board came true. Things that I didn't think I was in the position to do anytime soon. I printed a screenshot of the resort Joshua wanted to go to that we'd been flicking through a magazine, a brochure, whatever. And he was like, I want to go to that one. And we've just come back from there. And I didn't think that would ever be in my price bracket within the next 2 years. And there I was a year later. So yeah, that's just one of the things, but pretty much everything apart from Disneyland, which nearly happened, has been, yeah, actually literally everything on that. And there was quite a lot on it, like 10 things, have all happened since that first vision board. Last but not least, witchy road trip or cozy cottage weekend?
Well, a witchy road trip could end in a cozy cottage weekend.
You know, I thought the exact same thing. That was my trail of thought too. No, we can't cheat. Let's choose one.
Cheating. I think that's a reasonable assumption, isn't it? Witchy road trip.
I
I
guess with the
mean,
road trip, you'd be going to multiple places throughout the weekend. With a cozy cottage weekend, you'd be in one place.
I would quite like actually to go and discover some different things. So, as much as I'd love to be in a cozy cottage, which I will make the end of my witchy my witchy road trip. I no, I'd really love to go and visit places that have, you know, something witchy, fairies. I don't know, something about them.
I agree. And I actually go one further and say it's something we need to start planning is which way next road trip. And we can
Yeah,
document it on our Patreon and bring everyone along with us. But we keep saying we want to go to Puzzlewood, and that could be either the start or the finish of our journey. We should do it.
true.
I
Yeah,
still need to go to Stonehenge as well. That had been my birthday plan for this year until I realised that there was that witchy retreat coming up pretty much like the next weekend. So I was like, I'll make that my birthday thing. But I'd love to go to Stonehenge because I still haven't been. Been wanting to go there since I was about 10. I need to go. But yeah, we should definitely plan at least one of these and do a little witchy road trip.
yeah. I'd like to go and do some more paranormal sort of investigations as well. I really enjoyed the one I did recently with a local group, and I've got an idea for one that I want to do. So,
Ooh.
and it's not too far away, so it could be on part of the road trip.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Which
Watch the
way
space
next?
again, or which way next? Yeah.
You know, I'm gonna do that whole road trip, right? Every time we come up to like a crossroads, I'm gonna be like, oh, which way next? That'd be a TikTok, a whole compilation of everywhere we arrive, just different little videos of me with different backgrounds. Which way next? I've got it all planned out. So that concludes this month's magical this or that spirit edition. I hope you enjoyed it. If you played along at home, I forgot to prompt you at the beginning, but we'd love to hear your answers and you can share them in our Facebook community as always. Or if you are on our Patreon, then please do share them in there. Maybe we'll create a post with this actually.
Good
So
idea.
people can on the Patreon can join along. That's a great idea. I'd love to see everyone's take on it.
Yeah.
And if you are on our Patreon, by the time this goes out, you probably have already seen the video of my candle flickering when we mentioned my late mother-in-law, because I will have edited it and put it on there by then. So yeah, watch this space. As we come to the end of our episode, I would like to invite you into a mindful moment. As we come to the end of this chat about spirit guides and all things magical, let's just take a simple mindful breath together. A full meditation with the topic of meeting your spirit guides will be available on Patreon this month. But in this moment, just a single calming inhale and exhale. So wherever you are, just pause for a second. Breathe in deeply through your nose. And as you breathe out, let go of anything you don't need right now. Just a tiny moment of presence to close our time together. And with that gentle breath, we're sending you a little bit of peace and a reminder that you're always guided in more ways than you know.
Thank you for listening to this episode and being part of our journey. To continue the conversation, we invite you to join us on our Facebook group, Which Way Next Community. You'll be asked the questions, what are the names of the hosts? The answer is Med and Emma.
You can also find us on our Facebook page, Instagram, Threads, and TikTok. If you want to get in touch to share a listener story, question, or to work with us, our email address is whichwaynext@gmail.com. So I've been Med.
And I've been Emma. Join us next time where we ask the question, which way next? Hold on a sec.
Please don't die.
Yeah, why do I have to have something go down the wrong way?
That would be an interesting episode. So Emma's just died. Let's get the contact board out to finish the episode.